Hey there, my name is Matthew Donahue, and I'm excited to walk you through through part of a lesson I designed for 10th grade modern world history class. Today's focus is on the rise of dictators in the years leading up to World War II, specifically looking at how authoritarian leaders like Hitler, Mussolini, and Stalin came to power. In this short teaching segment, I'll be showing how to differentiate instruction to support the learners in my classroom. Uh, ELL students and also students with LDs as well. And I'll use various tools, sentence frames, guided notes, things of that nature that I have attached, as you'll see in the UBD that I submit with this video. You also see how I engage students through inquiry, discussion, and creative expression, hopefully, and how I assess understanding through both formative and summative tasks. I know that there was a 15-minute max on this, so the lesson plan actually calls that it's a 4-day lesson plan, so I'm going to be focusing on just the 15 minutes of one specific day and talking about an assessment through a propaganda poster. So let's jump in. And I'm sorry I'm a little sick, but I'm just getting over having the flu. So, really one of the most important parts of this lesson is how I differentiate instruction to meet the diverse needs of all my students. In this unit on the rise of World War II dictators, I'm working with students who have a wide range of abilities. So that includes ELL students and some students with learning differences. So I make sure every student has access to the content through a combination of supports, including vocabulary sheets, such as this one right here. Really that's to help them process new historical terms, dictator, fascism, propaganda, militarism, so on. I also use technology. I allow the students to use Google Translate, whether it's on their Chromebooks or on their phones during class, which really helps with clarity and confidence, especially during independent tasks. Here's another example of ELL will receive a word bank to help them kind of process new historical terms as well. I also provide sentence frames for writing and discussion so that they can participate confidently without language barriers holding them back. And for students with IEPs or 504s, I offer these guided notes during lectures, audio support for textbook readings. They can use text-to-speech tools like this one right here, and obviously they also have more time allotted to them. And all these strategies align with the Universal Design of Learning framework. I work to engage students by offering choice and creativity. Represent content through multiple formats. I like to use videos, visuals, have discussions, and allow students to show their learning in different ways. Through posters, through writing, through conversations. And this foundation really kind of ensures that students are not just included, but actively participating and building skills at their own pace. Okay, so let's jump into the quick lesson here. Good morning, class. How's everyone doing? Good to see you guys. All right, hope your weekend was good. So as you know, we've kind of been working through causes of the World War II, and today it's going to be focusing on dictators specifically. Here's the bell ringer. I already put all your piece of paper for you guys on your desk, so go ahead and fill it out. Take a couple minutes, give it 1-2 minute, give your answer, and then we'll have a quick class discussion. So imagine your country is in a deep crisis, and there is widespread poverty, unemployment, food shortages, and the government seems unable to help. A strong new leader all of a sudden arises and makes bold promises. I'm going to fix everything. What kind of messages or ideas do you think that this leader would use to gain support? Let's go ahead and take a couple minutes. Okay, and then pass your papers forward when you're all done. Okay, perfect. All right, let's take a look. Okay, Tatum, what'd you put? Okay, so maybe if they talk about how they're going to promise more jobs and get everybody more money. All right, absolutely. Anyone else put that one down? Yeah, about 7 of you. Okay, Ian, what'd you put? Yeah. Yeah, if they're promising, to, really help out with getting, more money in the economy in general, putting more food out there, absolutely. That would actually get my vote. I think if I was, poor and hungry and unemployed, I would feel like, oh, yes, this is the person. Yeah. Anybody else talk about the food shortages? Yeah. Okay, good. Good amount of you. All right, great. So let's move on to what we're going to be doing today. So today, and let me pass this out. Here you guys go. Here you go. Pass them back. Pass them back. Thank you. Okay, so today we are going to be working on a propaganda poster project. The task is that you are going to pick a specific aspect of World War II and research it. And you can create a poster that conveys a message using one propaganda technique from the video we watched, along with 3 written paragraphs on what you learned during your research. So we're going to watch the video after this. The poster, you must create a propaganda poster based on the criteria below. So these must be hand-drawn, and the poster should have a caption, quote of the message that you're trying to convey, and the quote should be in a language of the country that you choose. Okay? The written component is 3 paragraphs of important and relevant information based on your research. Paragraphs are 5 or more sentences, and put it in MLA format with references and citations, please. So no introduction or conclusion is needed. The poster, it must be of your own creation, must be a minimum of 8.5 by 11 in size. You can use whatever creative supplies you want. You can use markers, colored papers, colored pencils, crayons, some computers printouts, but I don't want the whole thing to be computer printouts. Remember, it must be hand-drawn, and then you can use it, for instance, if like you don't want to draw a face and you just want to cut out the face of the person. You can use any font or style for the message on the poster itself, and you have to base it on the perspective of one of the countries below. So Japan, Germany, USSR, Britain, and Italy. What do you think all those countries have in common? That's correct. They were all involved in the World War II. No, you cannot do USA, because then everybody in this classroom would do USA. So no, you cannot do USA, all right? You're not going to be graded on your ability as an artist, but it's going to be great. You're going to be graded on your ability to create a relevant propaganda poster, okay? Now, the written, it's 3 body paragraphs in MLA format. Remember, each paragraph has to be 5 sentences. And then also, I want you to do a 4th paragraph, and it's simply a reflection, okay? It's just a 1 paragraph reflection on how you want your propaganda to have influenced the people's behaviors, thoughts, or actions. So the reflection, there's no right or wrong, right? You don't have to MLA format that. It's just your thoughts, okay? Then the presentation. You're going to show the poster to the class, and the students will determine what country is being depicted, which propaganda technique was used, and what message was being communicated, okay? And then after you guys are done guessing, then the student presenting will be able to say whether you were right or wrong, and then let us know what the country is, what the propaganda technique was, and what the message was that was being communicated. And then you'll be able to also, get some feedback, because I'm going to have 2 students, whether you raise your hand or whether I call on you, to say something positive about what you liked about their presentation. All right? So go ahead and read through this. And remember that you have to submit all 3 components. Okay? So you have to submit a picture of your poster. Then you have to submit the written 3 body paragraphs. And then you have to submit the reflection paragraph. And you're going to have to submit it to Canvas, okay, before 11:59. All right? So here we go. Everyone go ahead and pull out your Chromebooks so that you can start doing research. And if you don't have a Chromebook, I got access to a Chrome card, so bring your student ID up and you can check one out. Okay, everyone have their computers? Great. All right, so we're going to watch a quick 8-minute video, and it's on every political propaganda technique. So these are the techniques that you are going to try to convey. You're going to have to pick one, and you're going to try and convey in your poster.
Emotional appeal, utilizing emotions such as fear, anger, or compassion to influence public opinion. For instance, showcasing heartbreaking stories of families affected by policy changes to evoke empathy and garner support for immigration reform. Fear-mongering, exaggerating threats or dangers to manipulate public perception and justify political actions or policies. This could involve sensationalizing crime rates among immigrant communities to rally support for stricter immigration laws. Scapegoating, blaming a particular group or individual for societal problems or failures to divert attention away from underlying issues. An example would be attributing economic struggles to immigrants. Name-calling, discrediting opponents by using derogatory labels or insults. Politicians may resort to calling their opponents unpatriotic or radical to undermine their credibility and appeal to negative stereotypes.
Okay.
Emotional appeal, utilizing
All right. Here are some recent examples. All right. So as you can see, we have 2 from the USSR and 1 from Germany. Now, this is obviously someone who was really good at drawing. It does not have to be, as good as this. See, and then this is an example of, they did a computer printout, but this is way too much computer printout. So they actually got docked points on this. Okay. All right. So, all right, now, everyone go ahead and you guys start researching. Now, for you guys here up front, I have these for you. All right, there we go. I'm going to pass these 2 out. So first, let's look at this page. And it shows us what propaganda is and what it is not. So propaganda, it's a message that tries to change how people think or feel about something. It usually uses strong emotions like fear or pride. And on this page, we see 2 sides. So on one side, you'll see examples of propaganda, and then you'll see non-examples of propaganda. So let's go through the first row together, okay? All right, so example of propaganda. A poster that shows a leader as a superhero saving a country. All right, so that's an example of propaganda. All right, the non-example of propaganda. A newspaper article that reports both the good and the bad actions of a leader. Okay, so do you see the difference? The poster uses emotion and makes the leader look really like a hero. That's propaganda. And then you have the article that tells the truth with good and bad. So that's not propaganda. All right, so go ahead and you'll go ahead and read through these. All right, and we'll look at more examples together. But I will let you read through these. But let's also go over this second sheet here. So this sheet will help you actually kind of plan out your poster. It has questions to kind of help you think and organize your ideas. All right. So what dictator are you focusing on? So that means, are you making a poster about Hitler? Are you making a poster about Mussolini? Or are you making a poster about Tojo? All right. Or what message do you want your poster to send? So with the video that we just watched in class, do you want people to feel afraid, proud, angry? And with that, you're going to pick your propaganda technique, which is the next question. Is it fear? Is it bandwagon? Is it nationalism? All right. So you guys have the link to be able to watch the video as many times as you want. And you should be able to apply closed captions within your language. If you can't, then use your Google phone as translator. All right. Also, number 4, what image or symbol will you include? So do you want to use a flag? Do you want to use a soldier on your propaganda poster? Do you want to use citizens? So what emotion do you want people to feel? Happy, angry, scared, okay? So, and then now with the presentation, everybody listen. With the presentation, you guys are all going to show the poster to class, all right? And all the students are going to ask what country is being depicted and which propaganda technique is being used and what the message is that is trying to be communicated. And then after you are done guessing, then the student will be able to say whether you're right or not. And then, like I said, I'm going to pick on 2 peers, all right, unless you raise your hands. And you'll have to talk about what you liked about the presentation, okay? No negative feedback allowed, all right? And for you guys here up front, ELL students, you can have the modification to present to only me during Grizzly Hour on Thursday. if that is something that you guys want to do. And for you students over here, you guys will get obviously extended time, and you can use the papers that I got you for vocab and sentence frames as well. Okay, so here's the rubric, everybody. Pick up the rubric. You'll see it's with 15 points, and you'll see that you'll have poster creativity, technique, and message. The second one is paragraphs, reflections, and conventions. And then you have presentation and due date. All right. So you can get a maximum of 5 points for each row there. All right. So go ahead and go through that rubric. And if you have any questions, obviously come up and ask me. So that's pretty much just a small snippet, because I know we have a 15-minute max on this video, of kind of how I would break down the propaganda poster project, and especially also then on a sidebar kind of talk to my ELL students and LD students. Really, one of the key parts of my instructional approach is trying to keep students engaged, especially when the content can feel heavy or distant. So I try to use a lot of visual analysis, creative tasks, and multimodal instruction to try to bring the material really to life. For example, with this propaganda poster project, it gives students creative ownership, and then that way they can apply the historical content in a visual format, which it keeps students engaged, especially those who might struggle with writing tasks. And it will help for those students who are more verbal and more analytical, that they get to write an explanation as well. So it really kind of helps both sides here. I also use bell ringers really at the beginning of class. It kind of gets the brain pumping for them, and it gets the wheels grinding. And then we kind of get to have a peer discussion about it and get everybody talking and get everybody engaged. And these are kind of the small tasks that really kind of make the day, as the bell ringer, and then bringing in these fun activities for the class to do. So during class, I support students with one-on-one check-ins, especially those with the IEPs, the ELL needs, or maybe people who are just stuck creatively. Sometimes it's just me needing to rephrase a question, or me needing to provide a sentence starter, and that small shift can actually re-engage a student who's feeling lost. So, all right. So anyway, thanks for watching this small snapshot of my classroom. Differentiation, isn't about lowering your expectations. It's about removing barriers so that all students can kind of access that high level of thinking. So I'm excited to keep growing as a teacher. I appreciate the chance to share my work with you today. Have a good day.